right, everyone, this is a homework video for the worksheet 2-9 for my class, Hands-on Fun with Rational Numbers. If you're in this class, I'll throw up the numbers the answers in a minute. If you're not, check the description if you would like to take this class, and it will bring you to the link to this class, and you can take it online, live. All right, give me a second, and I'll throw these answers up. So here's the answer sheet. Go ahead and look over it and start grading yourself. You notice I gave you some different options of answers. I would like you to start reducing by this point in the class, so be working on that. And we'll get started on this. All right, hopefully you've paused because I'm going to zoom in now, so we can take a look at this. So the reciprocal of a fraction is just flipping it. It's like when we divide fractions and we do keep, change, flip. It's what we do to that second fraction. That is called the reciprocal. All right? So finding the reciprocal of all these, just flipping the fractions. Now, a couple I want to point out is number 3. Before you can do this one, you have to put a 1 underneath, just like you do with the 3. And then when you flip it, the 1 goes to the top. Okay, so all you're doing is flipping. Another thing I want to point out is 4 and 5. First, you got to make that an improper fraction. So this one would have been 6, 7, 8, 8 over 3. I showed you how to do improper fractions in another video, so I'm assuming by this point in the class you know it. 4, 5, 6, 7, so 7 over 4. And then you flip them. Okay, so you find the improper first, then you flip. Flip. So reciprocal just means flip the fraction. All right, so dividing. When we divide, we keep, we change. I'm going to put a little multiplication in parentheses, and we flip or find the reciprocal. So I keep, I change the multiplication, I flip the second one, then I'm just multiplying fractions. 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 2 is 8. And you remember in class I talked about this with whole numbers. I don't have a, when I get to 12, let me see if I have a better one that I can skip down to. I don't. So I'm going to skip to 12. So this is saying that I have 12 candy bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to split these candy bars into 2/3 group. That means every 2/3 of every candy bar is going to make a group. Well, to do that, first I got to cut my candy bars in thirds. All right, so every 2/3 is a group. So this one and this one are a group. Let me change my color. This one, there's a third, there's another third, so there's 2/3. They're a group. This one and this one are a group. So every 2 of the thirds, it's a group. This one and this one are 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 a group. Getting to the end. This one and this one are a group. This one and this one are a group. This one and this one are a group. Let's do this one. This one and this one are a group. So if I count up all my groups, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have 18 groups if I take my candy bars and I chop them apart and I put 2/3 of every group together. So if you ever get stuck, try to model division. It will help you get back on track because I can get the same answer of 18. Ooh, let me take that off. By keeping this first fraction, first I got to turn the 12 into a fraction. Remember, that's just throwing 1 underneath. Changing the division or multiplication and flipping the second one. Okay, so 12 times 3 is 36, and then 2 on the bottom. 2 into 36 goes 18 times. So see, the math is meeting up with the modeling, and that's what we want to see. That's how mathematicians made these rules. So if you get stuck, just go back to the way the mathematician did it, okay? All right, so back up to 8. We keep the first one, change the multiplication, flip the second one. Now if you do cross canceling, you can cross out these 8s, and it's 3/5. Now if you don't, then you would have gotten 24/40 and then had to reduce. Keep, change, flip. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 can go into 8 one time with 3 left over, and the denominator stays the same. So just remember this, that if I've just showed you something that you've been doing wrong, if you forgot to flip these fractions before you divided, or you forgot to do any of the steps correctly, just pause and redo the rest of the worksheet and come back. It's not a big deal. Sometimes we make goofs, but as long as we learn it, we can stop, redo, fix ourselves, and that's going to help us get mastery, okay? All right, so for number 10, keep the first one, change to multiplication, flip, and multiply. So oh, wait a minute, this is the same exact thing. What a faux pas. Look at that. 9 and 10 are the same exact things. So look at that. Freebie. We already did 11. So in this one, I have to first change these into improper fractions. Okay? So 3 times 9 is 27, plus 5 more is 32. So I have 32/9 divided by 11/27. Now I need to keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, flip the second. If you multiplied straight across, you got 864/99. If you do cross canceling, then 9 goes into 9 one time, 9 goes into 27 3 times, and that would be 96/11. So then you could say, oh, 11 goes into 96 8 times, which gives me 8 left over. All right. So for this one, I got to change it into an improper first. So that is 5/2. And I have to change this 3 into a fraction, which just means throwing a 1 underneath. Now I can keep my first fraction, change to multiplication, flip the second, and multiply straight across. All right, so now let's turn these into some improper fractions. That's going to be 4 plus 1 is 5. 12 plus 3 is 15. All right, now I need to keep, change, and flip. All right, so I have that. And I think my answer is wrong, actually. This should be 20 over 60. I think I must have got a 3 on the bottom. Yes, 20 over 60 is the right answer. Okay, so this first one's wrong. So if you multiply it across top, multiply across the bottom, you got 20 over 60. I'm going to go ahead and do the cross-canceling way since you already know from the answer what your answer would be. These 4's cancel out. 5 goes into 5 one time and into 15 3 times. And I'm going to get down to the answer 1/3. So don't look at this. This is wrong. Okay? All right, last one. Got to throw a 1 underneath that 5. Turn this into an improper fraction. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 7 more is 15. Keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, flip the second fraction, multiply across. And look, I'm doing it a different way, but I just gave that answer. Let me give the other answer. If you didn't do cross canceling, you would have gotten 40 over 15, okay? And then had to reduce down to 2 over 2/3. So up top I have 8. On the bottom I have 3. 3 goes into 8 6 times with 2 left over. All right, the steps or a model with pictures of how to subtract, unlike fractions. This should be how to divide. Hopefully, if you have a newer version, that is corrected on it. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is see if I need to change to improper. So step 1, change to improper. I'm going to put proper or improper. Step 2, keep change flip. Okay, so I keep the first one, change to multiplication, flip. If you like to cross cancel, this is where you want to do it. You want to say 5 can go into 10 2 times and in there once. And so your step 3 will be cross cancel. If you do that at the end, then you just have to have a step to reduce at the end. All right, and multiply. So everybody's next step should be multiply across. So 5 times 1 is 5, and 2 times 4 is 8. All right. And if you don't do your reducing till the end, you need a step 4 actually that says reduce. All right, awesome, awesome. So keep doing this until it feels natural, and I'll see you guys in class.